Hey guys, welcome back. It is time to do a little bit of a declutter. Just to give you a heads up, this is not a super rash declutter at all where I'm getting rid of like 90% of my collection. There won't be too much decision happening like live on camera. I know exactly what I want to get rid of. I did a lip product declutter recently, so none of that will be included in this one. I know there's a lot more I want to get rid of than I probably will today. These are just the things that I definitely know 100% are leaving. And then everything else I'm kind of battling out and trying to figure out. I am kind of getting sick of a lot of things and things that kind of spoke to a previous time in my life or whatever. So without further ado, let's get started with what I'm actually getting rid of in this declutter. And this houses my eyeliners, brow products, and these are actually the lip products that I'm using right now in projects or for Shop My Stash. So we're just going to focus on this little section right here. So for my brow products, I know I'm going to get rid of this Ulta Beauty brow tint. This is pretty much dried out. There's really nothing left to this, so I don't really see the point in like keeping it any longer. So I'm going to be getting rid of this. All right, so here are all my pencil liners. I'm going to get rid of two here. This Urban Decay eyeliner in the shade Binge. It's a really cool color, but I feel like I'm not as interested in this anymore. I'd rather use just like a navy or like a pretty teal color. This is just kind of falls a little short with blue, and while it isn't bad, I just don't really think it does a lot either. So I do think I'm going to be decluttering this one. I also think I'm getting rid of this one. This is the Makeup Forever eyeliner in, I think it's called, well, the shade is 6L, which is like a blackish purple color right here. It's getting really dry and hard to apply, and that's just not great for the eye area. I don't really like tugging and pulling and all that just to get color on my eyes. And I don't know, it's just, I'd rather just have black if I'm gonna have black, not these like kind of purple / black. I get it, it's cool, and I really liked it at one point, I think, but yeah, just would rather stick with black if I'm going to go that dark. So gonna get rid of this one. All right, so this little Sterilite container holds all my blushes. I don't think there are any blushes in this tray that I'm gonna get rid of. I don't want to keep all three of these, but definitely want to play around with those and see if I like them. Again, I'm saving that for another time, not this video. And let me see. Okay, so definitely want to get rid of this blush right here. Okay, so this was Milani. Really old packaging. That's how long I've had it. I can't even tell you when I got this. The shade is Sunset Beach. They don't make this shade anymore as far as I'm concerned. And this is just like an orangey blush that I don't really know. I never really want to reach for this, and I feel like the last couple times I used it, I was kind of underwhelmed by it and just don't really prefer to have like orange or dark peachy kind of blush. I like pink more, rose color, mauve, that kind of a thing. So, and this is like super old anyway, which again, it's fine. The quality's still there, but if it's been around that long, I don't really love it that much. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of that. Also, I'm getting rid of this Wet n Wild blush. This was in my 5 Tries to Figure It Out project. I'll link that somewhere. And the goal was to use this 5 times and see if I still liked it or if I could make it work. And I don't hate it, right? But I only used it one time and I just was not impressed with it at all. I remember kind of feeling like this wasn't one of my favorites anyway, but I just wanted to give it a couple goes. And it just doesn't really show up on me that much and is kind of lackluster. So definitely going to declutter this, even though I know I didn't use it 5 times. I'm sorry, spoiler alert for that update video. But yeah, I think I'm just not going to waste my time with it because I do have other blushes that I do like to use and blushes in projects. And I just don't want to waste my time on something that I know I don't want. So I'm not going to give this any more chances because life is too short. So I'm going to get rid of this one. And I think we're pretty good in this section. So I tried this one today and really like that. And is there anything? Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this blush right here. This is the Milani Baked Blush in the shade Fantastico Mauve. This is discontinued. And I always thought I liked like purpley lavender blush. Yeah, I tried wearing this the other day and I just didn't really love how it looked on me. The shade I was thinking of is less reddish maybe, I don't know, but this one was not it. So I rarely use this one. I never want to reach for this one. Was always kind of thinking it was a little off in my collection, like shade wise and stuff, and just wasn't for me. But now I know because I tried it on recently and I wasn't feeling it. So Yeah, that covers my blush singles. So these three are leaving my collection. So yeah, not a whole ton. I kind of warned you guys, right? I don't think I've decluttered any blush lately, so that's a start. This houses like bronzers, highlighters, and some extra stuff on the bottom here, like if I have any backups or stuff that's out of season, it goes on the very bottom. Yeah, Mary Luminizer, I recently found that I love this one, so because I was kind of hesitant about that, but I know I'm keeping that. Yeah, this one is pretty old, and I'm still trying to figure this one out because I do like the bronzer, and I kind of like this as a highlighter. Don't really need the eyeshadows there because I have these in the chocolate bar palette, but I'm still trying to figure this one out. So this one is staying. This, on the other hand, is a really old Flirt bronzer, and yeah, I've had this for years. Flirt was a brand that was sold by Kohl's. They do not sell this brand anymore. I hit pan on this last year, and I think it's time to say goodbye to this because I just have other bronzers I'd rather use. This is really, really old, plus the packaging is broken, and that's never fun to keep around because it just becomes too high maintenance at that point. This is a no-brainer for me at this point. It lived a good life. I hit pan on it, and I think I just have a lot of bronzers I'd rather use. So we're gonna get rid of this bronzer. I like everything in here still. I have the Marc Jacobs bronzer in there, the Hoola one, my, Makeup Revolution palette. I'm still using those, like those. Okay, so here we're hitting up the highlighters, and I know for a fact I'm getting rid of this one. This is something for my mom. She gave it to me, and I think it's a drugstore brand, and it's like cruelty-free. I've heard of this brand a little bit, but I don't know a whole lot about them, but I do know that they are supposed to be like clean and green or whatever, and yeah, which is great. But I do not like this as a highlighter or a powder. Like, this literally does not turn up on me at all. It has like a slight shimmer, but if I'm gonna use a highlighter, it has to actually show on me and make a difference, and this does not do that. So I will be letting this go because I don't see a purpose for it. And this bottom part here, I'm gonna get rid of this foundation. I kind of like this a little bit more at one point, but I feel like the more I use it now, it's just a little too creamy and thick. It's also the wrong shade, I think. Even if I do get a tan, it's a little orangey for me. And it also has a really crazy smell. So I'm gonna be getting rid of this CoverGirl and Olay foundation. Did use most of it, and I usually mix it with other foundations, but I'm over it. Yeah, I know I wanna get rid of this MAC blot powder. I had this in a project last year to get more usage out of it, and was also thinking of decluttering this last year, and I have used it a couple times recently. It's starting to kind of crack off in pieces when I dip my brush in there, and I have use Scotch tape to get rid of the hard pan, and then the next time it gets hard pan again, so it keeps getting hard pan, and I just can't tell if it's like going on my brush or not. It's kind of not looking that hot either, so I'm gonna back to MAC this one. I think the last time they just took my stuff even if it still had product in it, so where I can just clean it out. It's like no big deal. Yeah, I do like this Laura Mercier one. This is like a backup deodorant. I didn't buy this, but I don't mind this. I'll keep that and finish that up. And here we have an Avon like loose setting powder, and I haven't used this in ages. I don't know. I think I'm gonna get rid of this one because I do have the two compacts. Just, yeah, I don't know if I need this messy tinted one as well. It just seems like a lot of product, and I never really use it. Yeah, this might go. Let's move on to eyeshadows. I am kind of playing around with my Bare Essentials ones. I don't think I want to declutter any of these just quite yet, but it's coming. I feel it, but it won't be today. Same with my MAC ones. There's like maybe one I think I'm getting rid of. Let me see. Okay, actually no, that's not true. There's a couple I'm getting rid of. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of these MAC paint pots that are drying out. This one is the shade Cash Flow, and this was one of my favorite colors. I have tried to revive this couple times, and the texture is just gone. It's past its prime. And it is a really pretty shade of gold. It's actually one of my favorite shades, but yeah, it's just a little too crumbly at this point, even if I try to revive it. I do have a ColourPop shadow that's similar to this, and that's a cream product as well, so I might as well just use the one that's actually working. So I'm gonna get rid of this one, unfortunately. Also, another paint pot I'm getting rid of is this Fresco Rose paint pot. This one is really pretty as well. I just feel like it's so dry at this point, and just, again, I liked it, but I wasn't in love with it enough to try to revive it and do all that. I just don't use it enough, and it's not really a shade that I go for on my lids. So yeah, I'm gonna part with this, I think. This was my very first MAC eyeshadow. I remember when I bought this, I was in New York City and I thought I was like all big and bad buying a MAC eyeshadow. But yeah, this is Idle Eyes. You could say it has sentimental value, but I'm almost kind of past that now. This is just a glittery, silvery purple. Definitely not a color that I wear often anymore at all. I don't know if I ever wore this often, to be honest with you. I just kind of had it, and I thought that when you bought MAC eyeshadows, you had to get like the weirdest color, because why would you get something you would actually wear? Really gritty, and we're gonna get rid of her. I'm gonna actually get rid of both of these. These are by Victoria's Secret. I don't know if people have makeup by Victoria's Secret anymore. I actually really used to love this one. See the color here. It's really pretty. This is another one I'm gonna get rid of as well, because I can honestly dupe both of these in my Take Me Back to Brazil palette right here. Or at least mix colors together. So I just don't see the point in like these two taking up space any longer. They're kind of like random, awkward containers, even though I do like the applicator a lot. And they're just freaking old. So I just, yeah, all those things combined, they just remind me of me from a really long time ago. So it does feel awkward and strange to hold on to them. So I will be parting with these two. I'm going to get rid of this MAC dark influence. It says a highlighter. I've never used that as a highlighter, nor do I have any desire to do that. I think I tried it and it still didn't turn up. But yeah, this does not turn up on me. When I swatch it, it does kind of turn up, but I feel like when I try to rub it on my lid, it just doesn't look like anything, which is so bizarre. But my thought is like, this is way too much product for something that like barely turns up on me. So it's just taking up space at this point. So I'm going to get rid of this one. And I think I'm keeping on my palette still. There's some palettes that I'm still kind of unsure about. Like just a bunch of things down here that I'm still not sure yet about getting rid of, but I am playing around with them. So maybe in another declutter video. All right, this is a different day, but I also decided that I'm going to part ways with this MAC Nonconformist eyeliner. This is one of their fluid line eyeliners. And I used this recently in a Shop My Stash and wasn't really as impressed with it. And you can see there's a huge crack in the middle. I did mention in one of the recaps that I was feeling that kind of way. Yeah, I think it's time to part with this. It's just not appealing to reach for. There's just something about a cracked eyeliner that just does not make me very excited. It's time to let this one go. This Luster Duster eyeshadow, this is by Benefit. This is really old, and Benefit, like, I don't even think they make eyeshadows, to be honest with you. But they did, and I bought this in a trio, and I already got rid of the other two like a couple years ago. A pretty kind of peachy nude. It's really old, and I mean, all these things are old, let's be real, but I don't know. I just feel like I don't want to own this anymore. I just think this is one I'm ready to get rid of. Like, I'm not sure if it's because it's the brand Benefit and it's like weird that I have an eyeshadow by them. I don't know, but it does not spark joy, and I kind of pull it out in the summer because I feel like I should. I just don't love it. Gonna get rid of that one. I do think I'm going to get rid of this NYX dark brown eyeshadow. The packaging has since changed. I literally have dark brown a million times in my stash, like in other palettes and stuff. And I am trying to get rid of some of my singles, and I just don't think this is that special. I mean, I can always give it another try, but never want to pull it out. So I'm gonna get rid of this one. This Copper Sparkle eyeshadow. I would swatch it if I had enough free fingers for you, but it literally is like a dark red, like just a shimmery kind of color. Like it is pretty, but I feel like I never reach for this one either, and I do have a similar color again in my Take Me Back to Brazil palette. I mean, I think for a lot of these, I do want to try to play around with these on my actual face, even though like sometimes I can swatch things and make a decision that way, but for a lot of these, I do want to try them on. Especially these guys, you know, I know there's a lot of those. So it's just how I am kind of approaching this right now. This won't be the last eyeshadow declutter that I do. I do feel like a lot of these are going to be exiting, but for today, this is kind of just step one right now. I think that will do it for eyeshadow. Yes, these are dirty brushes. This isn't my total brush collection, but I do think I'm going to be getting rid of this It Cosmetics brush. It's cute. It has like a little heart shape to it, or it did when it was actually clean. But it just sheds like crazy. Do you see that? Like all the brush hairs coming out. I know that brushes shed, but like lately it's been like every time I put my makeup on, they all are on my face, and I don't get it because this is not a, you know, cheapy kind of brand. It's like it. Mind you, I did get this off eBay, so I didn't pay like as much as I could have paid for this, but honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed because I do like the brush. I just hate that it's shedding already because my other It brush does not do that. This is just one that I think I'm done with because it drives me crazy and it's just not worth it. So I'm going to be decluttering this brush as well. All right, so just to recap, these are all the items that I'm getting rid of. I know it's not a whole lot of makeup. I did warn you guys that this wasn't going to be a crazy declutter, but this is definitely more makeup that I've gotten rid of at once in a while. You know, not counting my lip declutter that I did recently, but yeah, so 1 bronzer, 1 highlighter, 9 eyeshadow singles, a foundation, a brush, 1 brow product, 2 eyeliners, 3 blushes, and 2 like setting-ish powders. Hopefully this didn't really disappoint you or anything, but to me, hey, I mean, like, as long as my numbers are going down, I'm happy with that. So yeah, there will be more declutters in the future, I am sure. Thanks so much, guys, for watching, and I will catch you back in my next video. Please definitely consider giving this a like and a subscribe. Bye!